Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Dungeon Speak podcast, a D&D campaign based on Greek mythology. My name is Todd, and I will be the DM of this adventure, and now the players will say hello themselves.
Hello, I'm Macy, and I will be playing Aldora, the ASMR cleric.
I'm Dylan. I play Andrak, the reborn fighter.
Hello, my name is Becca, and I play Kiriki.
Hi, I'm Kevin, and I play Malachi, the Hexblade Warlock.
Kevin, do you know it's the most wonderful time of the year?
Because it's Halloween season?
It's fucking Halloween season. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the whole fall season. I hate the cold, so I'm gonna stop there. But I love this time of year because you got Halloween, costumes, decorations, wild and crazy scary shit. Christmas, I just love food and family and games. But I love building shit for it. Halloween, I've always wanted to, and I fuck it up every time, so, I'm gonna keep trying though until I burn myself on fire. But I wanted to make a life-size replica of a werewolf from the Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman. I like the aesthetics of that one. So I always wanted to make one, and I tried a paper mache one, and that didn't go so well. But I have tried to build different things. Christmas Village, tried my hand at that. That went decently well, although somebody didn't even recognize it as a Christmas Village. So I died a little inside and then started over. But I am now trying my hand at costumes. Got some stuff online, read some stuff so I could try to do it. But I just like making stuff because A, it's cheaper. B, when you're done and you get to look at the end result, it's fucking awesome. Is anybody working on some cool shit?
At the current moment, no, but honestly, I'm starting the project, but more behind than I was expecting to or planning to. But pretty much, I'll say something I did make, a while back, if that counts.
Yeah, what you got?
I had sewn, I started learning how to sew last year, so I made a few, I made the tunic from, Yellow in the Pokemon book series, and I made two cloaks for a cosplay or a Mandalorian cosplay.
You made those
Cool.
cloaks?
Mhm.
I've seen the pictures, Dylan, when he dressed up as... That was
Yeah.
actually really good.
From last year?
Was it last year or the year before that I saw the pictures of Dylan? When you were walking around town because you're crazy?
Oh, I do that a lot, so you'll have to be more specific again.
Oh, that was it wasn't those ones.
I haven't seen these, but cloaks are expensive, so if you're good at it, get on Etsy right now, because I can tell you right now, shit's overpriced as fuck.
You're gonna make a killing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made a fur cloak and just kind of a plain cape thing.
That's awesome.
But this time I have to make two full costumes. I have a lot of stuff on them from scratch.
I DIY quite a bit of stuff. It's I have experience with building things because I worked as a contractor for a couple years, so a lot of stuff around our house has been DIY'd. I've made planter boxes. I built a cactus garden for my partner for last Christmas. I like to make things, so I have a lot of stuff to pull from, but I don't know if this necessarily counts, but the one thing that I get literal daily use out of that I DIY'd is my computer. I built my computer from scratch. Yeah, and I think when I thought of the question and DIY, your favorite DIY, I always look at my computer because it's a more of an art piece than it is just a computer. It's like an open air case with a glass pane on the front of it and all the RGB you could ever hope for to get all that FPS, but it's my pride and joy. So when I thought of that question, I was like, yeah, my computer's probably the one thing that I'm the most proud of with my DIY, especially considering it was the first one that I ever did and I actually got it right the first time.
Computers used to be much cheaper to build than to buy, but I have seen recently that's not.
Yeah. If you get some good, they make some good pre-builts now that are much more affordable. But if you're, looking to have a really nice computer and you want to put in the time and build it, I can't recommend it enough. It's really fun.
That sounds fair. All right, guys, email Kevin. He will build it for you for free. I can't believe he's willing to do that. It's amazing.
I mean, shit, dog. Mail me the pieces, and most of them will probably get back to you.
Yeah. You always gotta have.
Just don't send him anything better.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get with you when I finally decide to get a computer, like a
Yeah.
real computer.
Yes, do it.
There you go. I mean, my knowledge base since I built my computer has deteriorated because once I built it, I stopped learning. But yeah.
Have you been updating it at all? I'm sure you have.
I haven't gotten anything new for it in the past couple years now. With the way technology advances in this world, I'm sure it's outdated in some ways. It keeps telling me that I can't upgrade to Windows 11, so there's probably something in there that needs an upgrade. But
Okay, it's okay. You don't want Windows 11 anyway.
that's what I figured. I'm pretty happy with 10, so I don't really feel the need to upgrade anything. Plus, everything's so expensive. I don't have money for that shit.
Fair.
And on DIY. I'm not that good with stuff like that. Following instructions or just building things from scratch is not my thing.
What about putting something together? Like
With instructions? I did put together my crested geckos enclosure. Like, we put stuff in there and built that one up.
Did you at least decorate it with your own
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we decorated it and stuff.
Hey.
But that's not much.
It's something.
I'm a very much I like to do stuff with my hands guy. So
Macy, is that true? I'm kidding. Don't answer.
Todd, I swear to
Yes.
God.
I've brought up my love of Lego bricks. I've brought up my love of metalworking before. Once. I handcrafted 3 suits of Mandalorian armor out of solid steel.
3?
3. I didn't get the helmets done, but I made the rest of the armor. I even added lights to one of them.
Sick.
This year we have plans for more armor, Goblin Slayer specifically. So,
Ooh.
but a favorite character from this very podcast is actually the design is inspired by Lego. Fun fact. So Geniel was just based off of a Lego dragon I had designed myself with the lightning bolt horns and everything.
That's cool. Being able to make like Lego sculptures or Lego things without instructions is a skill I never really had. Even though I had like 8 buckets of Legos as a kid, I never built things that were good. So
My desk is strewn about. I've got this large bionicle dude that I designed. We call him Hefe because I don't have a name for him, but he's like I think a foot tall. Has a giant fucking spear. Has water motifs floating all over him.
that's awesome.
I got a giant pure white mechanical T-Rex with a T-Rex rider.
I was
got a mecha suit too.
Mhm.
So I just build shit.
see, I was in a Lego robotics club when I was a kid, and I was not smart enough to do the programming of the Lego robot, and I was not smart enough to build the things that needed to do the tasks for the actual Legos. So my entire purpose on the team was basically just comic relief. Mostly
Hey,
just went
somebody's got to
around-
do it.
I mostly just went around and made jokes and slacked off, and everybody just liked me for that, so it was cool.
I wasn't allowed to join those.
Aw. You would have probably loved it.
Probably, but my father did not like me.
Oh,
No more depressing
Yeah.
shit.
No,
We're
no,
gonna
no,
talk
no,
about
no.
lore Legos.
yeah, we
It's
don't
hard
do
too
that on this
quickly.
podcast. This is not Dr. Phil.
Abort
I-
topic! Abort topic!
Want to hear an actual fun fact? I don't think anybody knows.
Yes.
Blouse's character design is based off an old minifigure I used to own.
Oh, that's cool.
His outfit is inspired by a fantasy era kingdom torso. It just doesn't have the crown on it, the chest plate. It's a real fact for everybody to know.
I don't know what any of that is.
It's
Era
a Lego
Kingdom?
minifigure. Fantasy era is the specific time in 2010 when the Lego Kingdom line was using a lot more fantasy tropes, like animated skeletons and all that.
Ooh, fun.
I owned one specific crown knight who had a torso of scale mail with a additional chest plate on top of it. It was a blue coat over the whole thing, so that is the inspiration for Bloutz's outfit.
Real quick, I want to know if anybody can relate to this, but whenever somebody says keywords, does it ever trigger a song in your head? Like when somebody says inspiration, I just hear Chicago's inspiration.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh man, it was right at the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, whenever like somebody in our house says "Hey now," or like
yep,
it's my
there goes.
partner. Yep, singing right behind me. Partner came to say hi and caught on to the conversation.
Oh, Dylan, what are we about to DIY in this next episode?
Boats.
No, an ass whooping. Good guess. Hello there, my name is Todd, and you are listening to the Dungeon Speak Podcast. Welcome back. Previously on the Dungeon Speak podcast, a group of champions traveled from Troy across the Aegean Sea, landed in Asphalese, met up with Aldora and her blue lizard mount, killed some demons, passed the Pagasatic Gulf where Jason and the Argonauts set off from, down through the Hot Gates, west and up the mountain pass to Halamus, and headed south and east around the base of the mountains to Delphi. They arrived in Delphi under the cover of night, but walked in open and shining light. The group noticed the place was active but very recently abandoned. They were set upon by Delphine, Delphi's resident she-serpent. After being bathed in acid, the group reconvened at the Temple of Apollo. Once inside, they attempted to rest, but Delphine attacked them again. This time, she did not make it out alive. After defeating Delphine, the group went into her former prison and found some treasure and undead left behind by some powerful, mysterious creature. Andrak found a scroll case inside the belly of Delphine while barbecuing, and shared a scroll that was found inside. The scroll was almost a letter and beckoned to the group to head northeast to fight demons. The group did this, but were set upon during the night while trying to get rest. Now, I don't usually call out specific players, but Dylan, trying to showboat, was grappled and almost killed by a fucking demon that was powerful enough to hunt openly on her own in a land of mythological creatures. Smooth. Aldora kept Andrak alive, and Athan, her lizard, chomped away at her until the rest of the party was woken up. After they killed a six-armed half-snake woman, the party finished their rest and continued on their journey. Around noon, the party came across a gruesome scene outside the cave. 10 citizens, looking freshly trained and barely armored, lay dead. The party was just in time to see one man trying to fight one demon alone. They could see he was trained, but the otherworldly savagery of a demon won out. After he died, Malachi and Aldora tried to speak to his corpse, but he refused, which confused Malachi. Aldora and Malachi gave rites to all the dead. Kiriki studied the demons and the people, and Andrak started gathering them for a pyre. As he was doing this, a woman runs out of the cave, hurt and bleeding, breathing heavily, and stopped short at seeing the party. She is startled by the party and the people dead. She shows sadness for her friends and apprehensively asks the party who they are. The party showed no aggression and sympathized for her, so she explained that what could be lieutenant for the demons was inside the cave and she can't defeat it alone. She asks for their help and explains that she is the daughter of Triton, god of the sea. And as a refresher, I will go ahead and describe who she is or what she looked like. So she has like blue to teal to very light teal hair from top to bottom. It is a little bit past her, the bottom of her back, her buttocks. It is kind of weird looking at the end. It looks like it's dripping water actively. And she is purple. Her skin is kind of a purple tint to it, but she has these teal tattoos all over her, and her eyes glow a teal color or like a very, very light blue. She has two swords that she is holding, and they almost look like they are dripping water. You can see water actively coming off of them. She has black pants on, and she has a belt with different holsters on it and different little sacks on it, and pouches. And she has a leather chest piece armor with black bracers on. But she's standing out there, bleeding, bruised, and out of breath. And she tells you all about that inside. What would you like to do?
Well, I'd imagine we're probably going to go in and investigate this large creature that we've been warned of inside this cave. Malachi will, I suppose, turn to the others and say, should we go? This thing is going to be a danger to us one way or another.
We should. Eliminating a threat like this would be most beneficial.
I agree. We shouldn't allow something like this to wander out of the cave.
Well, I'm ready.
The woman who introduced herself as Pallas last time, she is going to kind of hold up her hand and sheath her swords. And whenever she does, you see the water kind of stop dripping. It looks like it gets the outside of the sheath a little bit wet, but as she sheathes the swords, the water just kind of seems to soak up into the hilt and then stop. And she pulls out from behind her back in one of her little pouches the silver rod that has inlaid decorations of small red jewels on the handle. And it has an engraving of like a large claw lifting a human upwards. And she says, I found this when I was traveling and we were killing demons. I've seen it used to help people, but I don't know how to use it. And she kind of just holds it out for one of you to take.
Kiriki will grab it.
Alrighty then.
What
Do you
is
have
it?
any idea what it does?
Can I roll like an Arcana check to see what it is?
Yeah, you can roll an Arcana check. She looks at you, kind of shrugs. I couldn't figure out how to use it. Ask the dog.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll roll an Arcana check to see
Okay.
what it is. I'm good with stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll bad. 21.
So, 21. This isn't like a high powerful magic, so I'm not going to have you cast Identify and waste your blood as it turns out for you. But I am going to go ahead and tell you that it is what is considered a rod of curing. You've never seen this specific type before, but you can look over it and tell that it is used to heal people in some way. And you think by looking over it for a little bit, you could figure out exactly how to use it. Like, magic and magical items might be beyond her because, you know, she's not very magic smart. But you're pretty used to magic stuff, and you can figure out how to use it with just a little bit of time. You think you would have no problems with it. And if you want to add it to your character sheet, it has 10 charges.
Doing that now.
Yes, ma'am.
Kiriki won't say what it is, but she will stash it into her stuff.
Andrak doesn't care.
Malachi just kind of watches her quietly stash it, shrugs, and he's just like, okay, I suppose it'll be useful then. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it the first time. What was your name?
Pallas.
Pallas.
Yes.
Perhaps if you're tired, if you have already been in a fight before, you should find somewhere safe to rest while we handle this situation.
She kind of looks around on the ground at her dead friends, and then she looks back at you. I have failed them. I cannot fail myself. I will assist you if you will. Let me.
Is she still wounded?
Yes.
You are wounded. I would
I
not
have
recommend continuing to fight if you cannot heal yourself.
I will be okay. I can sit for a little bit and then maybe come join you.
Do not
Wait.
push yourself beyond your means.
If you want, I can heal you.
I feel you might need it. I do need to tell you a couple of things about this creature. You can't see it. There's darkness around it. I couldn't see. I could see where it was, and I could see the light grow cold and dark. But when you get close to it, there's nothing. It's like it's an eternal night with no stars.
So, it's not invisible, but it's not visible either, is what you're saying.
She looks at you for a little bit. Yes.
Malachi kind of nods, takes a sigh, and he's thinking to himself, it's all this fucking darkness, man. Should have taken Devil's Sight. Anyways.
I'm gonna punish you one way or the other. No, she'll say, I did go in there with 3 friends, but unfortunately they did not make it out. If I do not join you shortly, I would appreciate if you could recover their remains and bring them out for a proper burial.
See, it's done.
She'll look at Andrak. If I feel up to it, I will come join you, but I won't push it.
Good. Best not have everybody die today.
Are you guys gonna head in?
Andrak is walking
Yeah.
straight over there.
Indeed.
Was it you who called that, Becca?
Called what?
That Andrak was gonna walk straight in?
No, that was Kevin.
That was
Kevin.
me.
Yeah. Kevin, do you have inspiration?
I do now, I think.
Okay. Yes, you do. That's really funny. Dylan, you're predictable.
I'm playing a predictable character.
That's better. We're gonna give inspiration by making bets on what the characters do.
I'll always bet on Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrak's gonna be easy.
The over-under on this is crazy. As you guys go in the cave, Pallas is going to kind of hold up a hand. And Aldora, you have the highest passive perception, so you see this out of your corner of your eye. But she's going to hold up a hand in front of Genesis and quietly say, "Can I speak to you for a moment?" And then her and Genesis will walk away from the entrance for a little bit.
Are we going to leave our ally behind?
Cave time.
I'm sure she'll be fine. Let's keep going.
As you guys go into this cave, it is pretty dark beyond the entrance here. As you can see the sun kind of beaming through. It is a little bit after noon o'clock, so there is light coming through. But the width of this cave entrance is roughly 10.5 feet. But in front of you, Andrak, I'm assuming you lead the way.
Foolishly, with no light.
Of course. So you
It's
can
no
actually
way.
see, yeah. So in front of you, you see Hope. There are these mushrooms inside. They are very large, roughly 1 foot to 2 feet wide as you go throughout this cave. And they are probably about 3 foot in peak height, but they give off light. So they give off enough for you to see, but not enough to like see detail. So it just seems kind of like some kind of shroom that you haven't seen before.
Glowing mushrooms.
So there's not really any light in there, right?
Well, there's
Besides,
glowing mushrooms.
Yeah. So the glowing mushrooms are giving off a good chunk of light, but if you want to see detail, you're going to need to light something or dark vision people look at it. Andrak's in front. Who's behind him? And y'all actually can go side by side. So does anybody want to be beside Andrak?
Kiriki will walk behind Andrak.
All right.
And Malachi will bring up the rear.
Alright.
Do you guys want me to cast light on something to see better, or are you guys okay?
I can see just fine, but Kiriki will like slowly turn to Malachi. He might need it.
Okay.
There's lights
No.
in this cave.
Before
Todd.
we go lighting things up, the mushrooms are providing enough for us to get by. The light will just expose our position to whatever we're hunting in here. I can see fine with the glow of the mushrooms. Despite the fact that I can't see in pitch darkness like our potentially demonic friend here, I prefer to work in the shadows.
Andrak will look.
Who can see in the dark?
Malachi points at Kiriki. He doesn't know about Aldora.
I can see just fine.
Interesting. Anybody else, or is it just you?
I mean, Aldora keeps using the light spell, so nobody probably doesn't know that she can see in the dark.
Yeah.
Andrak's just like, man, the man who loves shadows don't see in the shadows? That's weird.
Well,
Just a guy.
I'm just a guy.
I'm just a silly little guy. Just a silly little guy.
Who
Just a
kids run a
dude,
scythe.
Just
All
a
right.
guy, yeah, drenched in bloody black robes holding a demonic scythe. Yeah, I'm just a guy.
Just
So-
a dude, bro.
So Andrak, Kiriki, then Malachi, and Aldora will be beside Kiriki. Do you guys want to keep going through the cave? So far, you see and hear nothing. It's a little humid. You can see dampness on the walls, but there's nothing so far.
Andrak will have his sword forward, ready to strike something. but he will begin marching onwards.
About 50 feet ahead, you can see it kind of splits off to the right, and it does keep going straight. And there's more of these mushrooms giving off light. And to the right, it curves off to go a little bit behind you, and there's more mushrooms. And then it curves off to the right and ahead, where you can see a corpse on the ground, but it looks almost ravaged. Like a lot of the skin is missing. There's a little bit of bone showing and some muscle. Like you can see that from this distance. Like something ate at that corpse very quickly, and it looks decently fresh from what you can see at this angle. And then there's like a natural pillar almost splitting the cave to the right and the cave to the ahead and to the right.
If Andrak were to touch a mushroom, like, does anything happen when he, like, plaps the mushroom?
I don't know. Are you saying if, or are you saying Andrak touches the mushroom?
He's going to pat a mushroom. I'm just wondering what happens when he, like, presses down with the mushroom.
So whenever you pat the mushroom, it gives off almost what looks like a glittery dust. Like there's a layer of dust on top of this mushroom, but it lights up for a little bit and then like reflects a little bit of the light coming off the mushroom itself, and then it just settles back down or settles on your skin and just looks like glitter.
Okay. Does it cause any problems, or is it just glittery as he looks at it on his hand?
Roll for allergy? No, just kidding. No.
It's
it doesn't cause
one.
any.
He's allergic.
It doesn't cause any problems. He's fine.
Okay. He'll turn back to the rest of them.
The mushrooms are safe. I don't think safe to eat, but at least safe to touch.
Do you want to try it?
Sure, what's the worst that could happen?
I'm kidding. Wait till after the fight.
Yeah, they're the light right now. He'll have to wait.
Fair enough. All right. So you want to go to the right, to the back to the right, or straight ahead, where you can see. Yeah, you can see with your light or with the light from the mushrooms that it ends probably about 100 feet ahead, or at least it curves off.
He'll keep heading straight. He sees the fork to the right. He sees this weird branching path, but he'll go to the first corpse he noticed.
Yeah, so the one ahead and to the right is the first one you saw at an angle, but now that you're going past all these rocks, you do see another one to the immediate right, and that one, the skin is completely gone and like kind of shriveled up, and it looks like a lot of the muscle has been torn off the bone.
Malachi will go to the one on the direct right when he sees it.
All right.
Can I roll a... Hold on, let me just see. Won't be great. What would... Medicine would probably be the most apt, but could I argue for a insight check?
You are arguing with yourself right now. What are you trying to find out?
He's just trying to, like, look over and see what possibly happened to the corpse. Like, what specific damages.
Specific? I'm going to say you can roll perception, survival, medicine, investigation. Pick anything that has to do with looking at it, but whatever you roll will have different DCs most likely. Like perception has a higher DC than investigation to see details.
Survival.
All right.
I'll go with survival just to see, because claws and teeth tend to be the typical with these creatures he's seen so far.
Dora, stop there.
That is a 9, so they are certainly something that has damaged this man.
I mean, you could see tea and claw. Tea? You can see somebody spilled tea on him.
Got tea
Oh, shit.
and claw.
He took tea damage. Shit.
Yeah.
Careful,
So you
there's
can
an
see
old grandma here.
You can see teeth marks and claw marks on it. So, I mean, it does look like an animal of some kind hurt it, but the fact that it's drained a little bit that doesn't add up. It's like something sucked all the juices and ate the meat off of it at the same time and very quickly. So that girl was outside maybe 5 minutes tops with you guys, and she ran out of here. So it's been a very short amount of time considering.
May I do a medicine check on the body I found?
Sure, and then we're going to hop over to Outdoor. Kiriki, pick out what you want to do.
I got a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. So you see teeth marks and you see claw marks, but you know that's not what caused the shriveledness and the meat being gone from this body. because you can see the tendons and the nerve endings are actually still on it. It's almost like they're loose strings around the bones. It's like the meat was sucked from between all the tendons and the nerve endings, or the nerves that run across this body. Like you can still see intact veins, like across the legs that are usually on the outside of meat. So it's very weird or strange that something would be able to get the meat off the bone without at least tearing one of the veins or tendons or anything. So while you do think it might have been killed by the claws and teeth, that's not what took the meat off of it. You think it was maybe magical or something just crazy?
Malachi looks up, since Kiriki just walked up next to him, he kind of looks up at her and then kind of elaborates on the stuff he just saw about the body and then says, "What do you think? Have you ever seen a creature consume like this?"
May I roll a history check to see if I know anything?
You, madam, may roll a history check to see if you've ever heard of anything like this happening.
Okay.
Aldora, I'm going to get to you in a second, but it's straight bad news. That's why I'm going to you last.
15.
15? You have... So, I'm going to say yes, but... So the creature you've heard of that does this is like a worm-like creature that lives in the sea. And you know it harasses and has harassed a lot of, like, legendary stories. Like, they're in history and there are legends about them. But they live in the sea. And they have, like, rows and rows of teeth around a cylinder mouth. And they just kind of, like, suck in humans or people. And then they just kind of shit them out with the bones intact. And all the tendons and everything. And just meat and blood is gone. Like a worm when it eats dirt.
I just relayed that information. Do I assume that we're a little too inland for
That is
those
a
kinds of...
safe assumption.
Yeah.
That or it's a hybrid of some kind.
Yeah, I just tell him what I think, and then she's like, but this dry land...
Now, Malachi, your passive is 11, right?
Yeah.
Kiriki, is yours 11?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Aldora. So as you walk up to Andrak, you do see the body. You look at it. You feel whatever you feel. And then you see the group of mushrooms that give off light ahead of you. And they're pretty. It's like a blue, one's green, one's like green with yellow outlines. There's some pretty mushrooms out there. But it's behind it as to what's unsettling to you. So past that, past the lit mushrooms, you see a globe of darkness. Like the light goes there and then just stops and seems to go around something.
Eldora's going to, like, freeze in her tracks, like, just staring at the massive darkness, not taking her eyes off of it at all as she taps on Andrak's shoulder and not looking away from it at all.
Yeah, it's probably about 60 to 70 feet away from you. It hasn't seemed to react anyway, but you can't really tell exactly what it is from this distance.
You tap on Andrak's shoulder and he just looks.
What? There's a dead body.
That darkness that she was talking about, I see it. It's in front of us.
If he follows where she's pointing, does he see it?
He does.
Okay.
Andrak,
Let's see.
make a perception check.
Perception. Please. Okay.
Aldora, if you want to make one too. Now that your attention has been drawn towards it.
15.
Alrighty.
It said as perception.
Yes, ma'am.
18.
Alrighty. As you guys look towards that globe of darkness, on the wall, kind of beside the mushrooms on either side of it, you see claw marks of kind. It almost looks like a handprint, except for the fingers look twice as long as the palm, and it almost seems like the edges are sharp. And it looks like it's a black kind of goo, which, Andrak, you've gotten pretty up close, and you know it looks almost like they're kind of blood.
Be cautious. It is one of the creatures.
Did he see Malachi and Kiriki go into the other path?
Malachi is very quiet, and Kiriki is creepy, so I don't know.
We're probably both very quiet as I mean, Malachi didn't say a single thing before he split off, unfortunately.
It's funny, Andrek's the only one who makes noise when walking.
Oh no, Aldora is full plate.
She also has boots of elvenkind.
Kiriki, aren't you dex based?
I am, and I have
Yeah.
proficiency in stealth.
So they just kind of slinked off, and Andrak and Aldora just kind of looking around like, huh.
Fun fact, Andrek also has proficiency in stealth. He just doesn't use it.
Where did the other two go?
I think they're back somewhere behind us.
Oh, wonderful.
We should slowly probably try to back up and get them. Because I don't want to start any confrontation with this by ourselves.
Agreed. Andrek will turn around and go back the way they came.
Alrighty. You go back the way you came, and you see off to the left where that first curve was, Malachi and Kiriki over a body, studying it. It looks like Kiriki's trying to figure out what exactly happened.
Don't understand if this creature that you remember
Clank,
doing
clank,
something-
clank.
Oh, okay. Andrek, what else is further in the tunnel?
A dead body.
We found one too. Yeah, neither of us.
That-
Well, we've seen. Kiriki's seen something that could possibly do this, but it's a seafaring creature, so I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Done what? Eat a person.
More than that, it's stripped the meat of the body without damaging any of the other parts, like veins, sinew tissues, nerve endings. It's very odd.
Has
about-
Andrek heard of a creature like that?
Make a history check.
Alright, how's my history? Actually, I'm proficient.
Hey.
I love that Andrek came down because they found a monster. He's just like, oh yeah, what is this thing?
And you know what? I will also expend a use of knowledge of a past life.
Uh-huh.
So 17?
A 17.
I mean, he was seafaring, so him knowing would make sense.
Yeah, so I'll say you know the same thing as her. There's like a very large worm-like creature with rows and rows of teeth and like a cylinder mouth that it just kind of swallows people up whole and then pretty much shits them out.
I doubt that that is the creature we are facing. We are too far inland.
That's what Kiriki said.
I still think it could be a hybrid. I'm just
Unless they took the head of the creature off and are using it as a mouth for a horrible chimera. I doubt that is what is happening.
That's a lot of work just to create a creature.
Well,
People have done more.
I suppose we'll be able to find out soon since we've already come across the creature.
What?
It's nearby.
The massive shadow that Pallas had mentioned. It is further up in the cave.
Malachi, stands up. He was on a knee checking out the body. He, stands up and turns at Andrak, and he's like, why didn't you lead with that?
I didn't
Otherwise-
feel like it was necessary since you were still looking at information.
The only information that matters is finding the creature. If you've already done that, then we're wasting time. Come on, let's go get it.
We don't know if it is the creature. It's just a massive shadow.
That was precisely what Pallas described for us. What else could it be?
He looks at Kiriki.
Maybe one of hers.
One of mine? One of my what?
I don't know. You are a weird creature. You crawl on walls.
There is no one like me. I am just Kiriki.
Thumbs up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That was
Either
weird.
way.
He does not care. He's just going. And he will stop at the other dead body, because that's where they saw it last. Is the massive shadow still there?
The massive shadow is still there. It looks like it hasn't moved an inch.
Andrak will point towards it.
Eldora spotted it over there. It looks like it is still there.
Kiriki, with your special vision, perhaps you should get closer and see if you can see something that we can't.
Alright. I am going to walk just a few feet ahead and see what I can see. Can I see anything with my special vision? Kiriki's gonna walk forward, and then, her steps will become lighter and quieter. That is my stealth. That's what it is.
It's gonna be so high.
It's a 14.
Oh.
A 14.
Yeah.
That's pretty high. I mean, Malachi doesn't seem to notice you. Dora and Andrak are staring at you, but
She disappears into the
I'll have
shadows and
something to help
Malachi
with that,
shudders.
bro.
It's like Malachi starts going, shit, she's gone again. Andrek's like, she's right there.
all right. So, Kiriki, in front of you, you can see kind of these naturally formed pillars, like the ones y'all passed before. Directly in front of you, in between it, there's roughly 5 of them. There's 2 almost side by side. In front of you, about 10 to 15 feet. And then ahead of you, about 30 feet, is another one to the right. And then ahead of you, about 60 feet, is one to the left, and a smaller one to the right. It seems to be to the left, behind the bigger one, about 70 feet ahead of you. And you want to head to the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll head towards the left.
All right.
Whichever direction was pointed. Was it pointed out to the left where the shadow was?
Talking about the one Andrak pointed at?
Yeah.
I think he pointed to the one straight ahead.
Okay, then I would go straight ahead wherever he was pointing.
All right. So yeah, in front of you, you can see a group of 5 large mushrooms, some smaller ones. There's like a pretty blue, a pretty green with yellow outlines.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, you can see the blackness. Looking ahead, past these mushrooms, you can see the black globe that they're referring to, but you cannot see into it. It just seems like light hits it and stops from these mushrooms that are roughly 20 feet away from it, like 15 to 20 feet away, so it should be lit up. And your dark vision, you look against the wall and you can see the grayness, and you look and you see this globe of darkness where it just seems like your vision just stops, like it's a smooth round wall. But beyond that, you can see the other wall, and you can see it's beyond the glow of the shrooms, and it is gray like your dark vision allows. So there is definitely something amiss.
Kiriki will take a step back. There is something there, but I cannot make it out. Like a dark shape.
Are we going to engage it, or I don't know if we can fight something we can't inherently see.
Looking to see if I have anything.
Did anybody bring their bazooka?
I was like, it'd be great if someone had something like fairy fire.
I keep my bazooka in my left front pocket.
Andrak pulls out his M9. Sorry, only had this. He just has a modern rifle. Everyone's staring like, what the fuck is that?
You could turn it into the glow stick by casting light on it.
Ugh. Alright.
Mhm.
Kiriki
We
is
just
gonna
approach.
slightly draw one of her scimitars and slash her upper arm and take the blood from her arm and rub it against her, like she lifts her mask and rubs it against her eyes. And her eyes begin to glow, and she is going to cast, where is that spell? Something called Blood Sight. So first I have to hurt myself. 5 points of slashing damage. That was really low roll, thank God.
That's good.
So I draw a portion of my blood, and it causes my eyes to take a crimson hue. During this duration, you can see life forces of creatures nearby. The range is the vision. The range of this vision is the number of feet equal to the number of hit points I took. So 5 feet, 5 times.
So 25 feet.
Yeah.
So you have heat vision for 25 feet?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
When the
That's fucking
creature
cool.
is at full health, they appear perfectly normal, but as they become more wounded, a red orb begins to surround them. You can notice when a creature's current hit points are below half or 1/4 of their hit point maximum.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And if they're below half their hit points, you can see them even through walls and invisibility.
How long does this last?
10 minutes concentration.
Okay. Well, you were already stealthing, so do you just want to head up to it where you're within 25 feet?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Let me see how far I need to get for that. Yeah. So she's gonna creep forward again.
Uh-huh.
Back to, like, get up to these glowing mushrooms.
Malachi
This is-
would like to kind of tail a little bit just to get closer to the mushrooms, and then go invisible as he stands there.
All right,
Alright,
am I
so-
close enough?
You are not. You are 35 feet away. So you get right behind the light of the mushrooms, and you're almost close enough, but not quite.
Okay, I'm within. It looks like I'm in with 25 feet of it. Yes. Okay.
All right.
What do I see?
Malachi, roll a stealth check with advantage.
Okay. Good. Thank God for that advantage. 20.
Okay. So you're pretty quiet as you visibly go behind her. Kirky, as you get closer to it, you get closer and closer to this glow. Can you go up 5 more feet? You can see into the darkness a little bit. There's like a hint of some kind of red aura. And then as you move just a hair past that group of mushrooms in between these two naturally crafted columns by time, you can see the aura of some kind of creature. It is... No, don't do that, you piece of shit. Hold on, my bad. Alright. You can see it has kind of torn clothes on, like torn robes almost, and wings and horns that are long curls behind it. And you see long pointy ears that go out to the side. And I'm not going to give you details because you just kind of see the outline of it, like, you know, heat vision does. But you can see it does have a red aura around it, like a pulsing red aura. And one more thing you do see about it is that it looks like it's taking a very long stride forward as it's looking directly at you. Let's roll some initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Well, that was sudden.
Was it sudden? Because we knew it was in here.
I mean, we knew it was gonna happen. I was expecting more of a stealth action. I don't know.
That's not.
She didn't roll that great on this stealth. She usually does, but not today.
Yeah.
Look, if Andrak could see her without any issues, it was too low.
What are you doing? No, Malachi, how'd you do?
I get to 21.
21. Aldora.
I got a 18.
18. Kuriki.
16.
16. Andrak.
11.
Weird, that's what I already had you in there as.
I do often roll 11s on initiative. I am not allowed to go first.
I mean, that's fair, but you know what? You do it really well. Alright. Malachi, I'm not going to be rude, but I'm going to skip your turn.
Fair
because
enough.
you don't see it heading. All you see is the black glow. You're waiting for Kirki to kind of react.
Mm-hmm.
And then Aldora, I'm going to skip you. Same reason. Unless you... Nah, I'm going to skip you because that would be super... what do you call it?
It would be really funny if Aldora's just watching Andrak play with a wooden boat toy.
That would be hilarious.
So that's why
Kirki,
she's distracted.
Kirki, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You see this thing heading towards you, looking directly at you.
Kiriki isn't one to back up from a fight, but she's looking at the advantage of the room and seeing that this is probably not a good spot to fight because there are mushrooms right behind her. She's going to use her movement. See if I can just get past. Are the mushrooms, would you consider that walking past back through them like difficult terrain, or just walking through them is fine?
No, it's fine. Mushrooms are pretty collapsible, so you can just kind of run into them and they bounce out of the way.
Okay, she's gonna back up to Malachi.
He's invisible.
Yeah.
Although you can
Back
probably
up.
see him.
Yeah, back up past the mushroom. Yeah, because she's got her little special vision
Yeah.
at the moment. And ready your arms. It's coming towards us. And she's gonna draw both of her scimitars and wait and hold her action if that thing gets any closer to
All right.
attack.
So if it gets up to you, you want to go ahead and swing.
Yes.
Alrighty. Good news.
Can we say,
Yes.
since my turn was skipped, that I did the same? Just prepared
Yeah.
an attack action if it got close to me?
Yeah, that makes sense. You're kind of walking forward, got your, your scythe ready to swing at any moment, which is, that's a hell of an image.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have reach?
10 feet.
Okay, good. Because Kiriki stopped short of being beside you, so if he comes up to her, you won't have range. But if you have reach, then you're good.
Yeah.
So, the good news is that he goes next. And he actually has 60 feet of movement. So he will be able to get to you. This creature, which Kiriki can see, you see the wings folded behind it as it charges ahead with its horns. And you can see its claws, these just elongated claws attached to these humanoid hands, just raised up, and its mouth starts to almost split as it opens, like it's forming a mouth as it opens. And then its kind of taloned feet are clanging on the ground. So Andrak and Aldora, you look as this globe of darkness is charging towards Kiriki. And y'all don't see Malachi, but you do see this darkness eventually move through the mushrooms, cutting off the light from them, and then enveloping Kiriki, effectively blinding her. And Aldora and Andrak, y'all can still see because of the mushrooms beside you. But if you move up, past those little pillars there, you'll have barely any light. But at the moment, Kiriki, you readied an action. He ran up. Go ahead and swing.
Right.
But
Is it disadvantage?
it is because you are effectively blind. As you swing, I'm going to go over blind. So, you automatically fail any ability check which requires sight. Shocker. You have disadvantage on attack rolls, and attack rolls against you have advantage.
14.
A 14 will not hit. You kind of feel impact against this glow that you see in front of you, but it almost feels like your sword gets stuck a little bit in some kind of natural scale.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, I rolled a natural 20, but I rolled an 11.
I'm so sorry. So what'd you get?
An 11.
Aw. I am sorry that doesn't hit. Fortunately,
Figured.
Scythe Boy is here to help. Malachi, if you want to swing, you would have advantage because you're invisible, but you can't see him, so it gives you disadvantage. So essentially, you have nothing.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a normal flat attack.
All right. I will make my nat 20 for the first attack. Do you want me to do all of the nat 20 stuff first, or should I roll my second attack?
Go ahead and roll your second attack.
Okay. Second attack is only a 14. So
Good.
yes.
Fuck you. So your 14 doesn't hit. Your nat 20 does.
All right. So that is maximum damage for 26 on the on the natural 20. And then
Roll a D100. I swear to God, if you kill this fucking dude in one hit.
it's a 4, which if I remember correctly is just double damage.
Yeah. Hard hit times 2 damage. But that is still. That's
is
52.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
And
Malachi, so he's invisible. He sees Kiriki back up. He sees this darkness kind of overwhelm her, hears her 2 swings slicing into like scale, and then almost like instinctively, he just kind of closes his eyes, turns his scythe, and just like lunges it out over her head, and apparently makes good contact with something.
yeah, you feel like it's stuck a little bit, and you hear it's kind of like a shrill, almost. Do you know how like insects sound at night whenever they're in course with each other? Kind of like a very quick hissing sound with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of hear that, but like a guttural, deep sound. So you don't speak. Well, actually, I think you do actually speak Abyssal. But,
I do.
yeah. So yeah, you just hear this cry of pain. So you're sure.
He does a little smirk and then withdraws his scythe.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and take his turn. Now that we've had some fun.
I'm out of invisibility now as well.
Man, if I hadn't devoted his time to Kiriki, I'd fuck you up. Damn. That took a lot of his hit points, because Kiriki could see he was already hurt. Alright. Kiriki, he's going to try to lunge at you with one of those claws and then come at you with that mouth that kind of formed as it was coming at you. And as you do, you see his eyes are lighting up in kind of this heat way that you can see his body with. And yeah, as you look into his eyes, can you go ahead and make a charisma saving throw as I try to hit you?
Ooh, the charisma's not my best.
Neither is hitting, apparently. Or his.
Oh, this is embarrassing. 19
Damn.
with
Nice.
no modifier.
Yeah, there's no half damage or anything, so yeah. You feel like your soul start to become cold a little bit, but this motherfucker's trying to kill you, and you've been here before. You know what to do. 21 on the bite.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. And then 14 on the claw.
That hits. Oh no,
Oh,
that misses.
Wait. Oh, I was like, okay, wait, a 14?
Yeah, no, that misses. My bad.
All right. Okay, so this bite, it feels weird. You could feel the liquid coming from its mouth, and it almost feels like saliva, but at the same time, it feels too thick and too hot. Oh, God. 14. You take 65 points of necrotic damage, and you can see this mix of human blood with his black blood left on your arm, and it almost seems to be soaking into your arm. Oh, that's right, you can't see. You feel this happen as you take this damage. Unfortunately, that's it. And I thought he was badass until we got right here.
I'm still standing.
I feel like he will not be for long. Andrak, it is your turn. You heard some noises, but you can't see because there's just a black globe of darkness in front of you.
He would have seen Malachi reappear
sure.
and swing his scythe and hear that sound of, combat, I suppose.
Kiriki did say, ready for a fight. I'll just point that out.
Andrak does not see in the shadows, so he does not know what's happening to Kiriki, but he's going to
Throw javelin. Fuck it.
go forward towards Malachi. He's going to kind of step. If he stands in this part of the circle, directly north of Malachi, would that be counted as being in the darkness since it's partially covered?
So,
I know radius
Yeah.
is weird.
so I can't actually put him directly in a square because I can't fucking see him.
That's true. That's fair. It's fair.
But it's supposed to be. Can I do this? How do you do it? Left? How do you make the shit? I just hit a bad button. I don't know what that did. It's fine. Can I? Okay. So he's supposed to be from here to here to here to here, but I can't get him directly on the square.
Okay.
So being essentially beside Malachi, just at that angle, would put you in the darkness. But you
Yeah,
can still.
He'll just run up and be like, I am blind.
Love it.
Malachi would just look over to him and be like, the monster is in the darkness. Swing in front of Kiriki. Oh, you can't see her either. Shit.
I do not know where Kiriki is.
Malachi just tells him to swing in a general direction that he swung.
Yes.
Northeast. Swing northeast. About 10 feet.
Okay, silly question.
Uh-huh.
Could he reach out, if I use my first attack to reach out and, plap around with his hand, could he identify where Kiriki is? Or would that count as, a bonus action? How do you want to do that?
Huh.
I say roll a percentile.
If you want to use your bonus action and roll a percentile, we'll see.
Okay, I'll use my bonus action to roll a percentile.
Kiriki's
fun.
pretty small, right?
No.
Slender.
No. Well,
Oh, slender. But
Slender?
she's tall.
Well, you're not reaching.
71
Ooh.
You rolled a 71.
on a D100?
That is how percentile works.
that is.
Or did you mean a
percentile.
perception?
No, percentile.
Okay.
So I was doing pretty much the squares in front of you, and I was dividing it by 3, 33, 33, 33.
Okay.
So she was essentially between 66 and 100. So yeah, you do feel her with your bonus action if you would like to not swing at her. I mean, you can still swing at her and just be like, sorry, I couldn't see you.
You feel Andrak's hand plap the mask on your face.
Oh,
God
There's a
damn
wooden
it.
mask here.
and he'll slightly push past, and then he'll try to swing. So can he go into that and be
Yep.
blinded?
You are
Okay.
in the darkness, perfectly blind.
Okay, he knows where Kiriki is. He's going to try to swing at nothing.
All right, go
He
ahead.
thinks there's something. He's been told there's something. So he will swing at disadvantage. So a first hit is a 14.
Unfortunately, a 14 will not hit.
History shows.
He hits the ground.
There's a lot
Second.
of 14s going around.
Second attack is an 18.
An 18 will hit.
Oh shit.
By deductive reasoning, Andrak knows where to put that second hit. He heard the sound of this thing crying out in kind of a weird insect noise, and he hits the second time.
10 points of slashing damage, just barely grazing it. Andrak's hand. He did remove his hand from the wooden mask to grip his sword with both hands.
I hope so, because you'll lose that hand.
But, Kiriki, you did get a hand on your mask. That's how he identified you. Wooden mask.
I mean, that's fair.
And he will hold there because it's all he can really do.
Fair enough. Malachi, it is your turn.
So, let me bargain with you, Todd.
Oh, shit.
Since
you
I
just
al-
critted this creature for 52 points of damage.
Exactly. Which
Fuck you
is
up.
the important thing here is that I know where I hit.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
since I already know where to hit, do I still roll with disadvantage?
Yes, sir. You can't see it.
Damn it. Well,
Sorry.
you always gotta try. You always gotta try.
I felt like that wasn't a very good bargain. You just asked.
Well, you
You're
know.
supposed to offer something up. Like,
bargain
hey, here's
was-
a piece of pizza.
The bargain was that I hit it. I don't think that'll be a problem for me. 23.
Ah, balls. 23 will hit.
All right. And roll. I'll roll the damage first, sure. 7 points of damage on the first attack.
7. After 52?
I know. I can't always
do better.
overperform. And the second swing is only a 12, so the second one is a miss.
Yep. Unfortunately, it will not hit.
And then I can't see it, so I can't hex it. Oh well. Yep, that's my turn.
Alrighty. So I do want to stop and talk about mechanics real quick.
I love those.
Kiriki can see this creature, and she is a massive damage dealer. But if somebody, Kiriki, Andrak, Malachi, hell, even if Adora wanted to run up here and keep him from running, which seems to be her MO, y'all could assist each other and be like, hold out your hand, say, I feel him, he's here, follow my voice, and then give somebody a straight roll instead of disadvantage using the help action. We don't do that a lot, but I just wanted to put that out there in case you guys want to do it.
Not that it matters too much. I'm not going to do that, but I do have the slasher feat, so when I hit it, it does reduce its speed by 10.
Now he can only move 50 feet around. Are you happy?
Yeah, I actually am. Thank you.
I'm actually not, because I think he might lose. Like, I was feeling good, but that 52 points of damage really put a damper on it. Aldora, the shining light of this party, what do you want to do?
I'm going to move forward. Up if I can.
You
up
step on
next
the
to Malachi.
decrepit corpse.
Yep. She's gonna apologize as she's just like stepping over it. Then she is going to cast light on her shield, and hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Going to cast light on her shield. So now, the people who cannot see can see something. And then she is going to hold up her shield and cast Spiritual Weapon as a floating, glowing brass spear appears right next to the darkness. Nope,
Ooh.
I don't want to press that.
Look at you learning the action economy. I'm actually impressed, Maisie.
Yeah, it would appear like right there, I think.
Oh.
If at least being able to be in range to at least attack on its own.
Yes, ma'am. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you do a caster check for me? Just roll a d20 and add your wisdom modifier.
A caster check.
Yes, ma'am.
11.
11. Alrighty. So you guys can see the small outline of this demonic creature. So you will still have disadvantage as the darkness just seems really thick. But you can kind of start to see him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Aldora, what did you get to hit?
With disadvantage, a 1.
Yeah, that's fun. And on the fumble table, what did you get?
On the fumble table, I got a 58
Alright.
to be.
Kevin loves reading this shit. Kevin?
Yeah. 58 is stunned. Fall and become stunned for 1d4 rounds.
Alright, so go ahead and roll a... Let's do a Constitution save and throw to see if it is stunned.
What is a Constitution saving throw for a spiritual weapon?
Just use Aldora's.
13.
Alrighty. Go ahead and roll 1d4.
3.
There you go. Divide by 2. So you are stunned, or, I'm sorry. The spear is stunned for 1 round.
Okay.
Oof.
Damn.
1 round's not bad. At least it wasn't hit ally, because it would have had advantage to kill Kiriki. I would have given it to it.
I mean, I would have taken that damage. Come on.
Kiriki's closer.
Dang.
Nice try.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn, madam?
No. I'm good.
Okay. Kiriki, it is your turn. You hear Andrak clank up beside you and start swinging after touching you. I don't know if you hear a spear, but you hear like a whooshing sound.
Yeah.
And you do hear this thing cry out in pain.
Yeah, I attack with disadvantage.
Yes, ma'am.
I can see the glow though, can't I? Or just because I'm enveloped with it, I'm...
Damn. There's no like medium ground here.
Yeah.
I guess
I
because
can
you could...
see through walls and invisibility.
And
But-
he's also very hurt, so...
Mm-hmm.
Ah, fuck, alright. You don't have disadvantage.
Woo!
Be kind
Yay.
to him.
Nah,
I have
you
named him Bastion. Be nice to
Ooh.
Bastion.
Fuck
I
Bastion up.
will be. Becca will be. Kiriki, however, is an entirely different entity with a mind of her own, and she's taking all 3 of her attacks to just wail on this thing because it hurt her. Oh, okay. So the first attack is a 28.
That somehow makes it.
The second attack is a 26.
How?
And the third attack is a 12, so I know that one don't hit. That was just
Aha!
a section. That's the one that doesn't matter.
Oh. Okay, well, the 2 hit.
Yeah, the other 2 are the ones that'll hurt the most.
Ouch.
Yeah. So the first swing is 9 damage. So that's not great.
Oh.
Yeah. Second swing is 10 damage, so 19 points of damage.
His aura
Mhm.
is glowing a deep red and
Mhm.
pulsing.
Yep. Got it.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, give me just a second to double check this
Mhm.
thing. No, okay, yeah, I used all my attacks. I'm good.
Okay. Great. He goes after you. Does he have reach?
No.
Kevin, you had a thought about what I was gonna do, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I've chosen
yeah.
to deny your reality.
He's not gonna go around 2 people to get to you, unfortunately. Because that's not smart.
Hide behind the tanks. That's the goal here.
Stupid go worked. Alright, so he's gonna swing, I guess, at Kiriki again. Kiriki, do you look hurt? I mean, pretending
Oh,
you could
yeah.
see in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna survive another hit if he's gonna do what he did before.
He is going to do what he did before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if there's a reuse roll for his thing he does, and I actually do not see one. I think he gets to use it every turn, which is actually kind of rare, but alright. Alright, so he's going to try to bite down at you, and you see this mouth again kind of like form as he cracks it open. You see the skin tearing as these large teeth come down at you. And he rolls a 13 to hit.
That misses.
And then he's going to try to claw at you. You see this long, gangly claw come around for a 27 to hit.
That hits.
Damn.
Shit.
Oh, okie dokie. And that is 44 points of force damage.
Mhm.
Y'all don't see it, but you hear a thud. Kiriki has hit
Oh.
the ground.
All right. As that happens, nobody can see him smile and give her the finger. But he does look over at Andrak. Andrak, you hear this creature slowly start moving, and you almost hear like a creak as you hear its blood dripping on the floor. Can you make a charisma saving throw as your body starts to feel kind of like this nervous heat about it?
Charisma? You've got to be kidding me. The one stat I have nothing in?
Is that your dump stat?
No intelligences. That's a 20.
Nice.
Damn it, he's never going to get to do this.
Andrak just smiles and winks absolutely out of nowhere, and he's just like, oh, I can't do that.
Not even looking at him. Just random direction. Smile and wink. Alright. That's a shame. Cause he ain't doing great. Andrak, it is your turn. You overcome this warm feeling and bake bread.
Big
I have
bread.
I'm making bread? That's not a boat.
I mean, you don't want to fight, right? I mean, just But you did hear a thud.
Well, once again, hearing thuds. This one wasn't metal, was it?
She has plate armor, but it's
Swords.
not like a heavy thud.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
like a clank and a thud. Like a body hit the floor.
Okay, he doesn't know who that is.
Aw.
Well, he knows the general direction of this creature still.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to intensify his gaze as he's going to initiate one use of his fighting spirit.
To give straight rolls, right?
Gives me advantage on all hits, but it cancels out the disadvantage I already have. So that's going to be a bunch of straight rolls.
Get him.
All right.
So the first hit's a 25 to hit.
Yep.
Second is a 28 to hit.
Yes, sir.
And I will roll some damage.
Finish him.
He might.
So the
Oh,
first
no,
hit's going to be 12 damage,
Oh, shit. Uh-huh.
and the second is 15 damage.
He is. If Kiriki was alive, she could tell you how Azor's looking. You hear cries of pain and this weird kind of hissing insect sound.
So it's the darkness still enshrouds him, huh?
Yep.
He wasn't told about any other creatures, so he's going to push himself even further. Action surge.
Hell yeah.
Oh, fuck! I shouldn't have said anything. He's healthy and happy.
14 to hit.
Nope.
That'll miss. That 14.
25 to hit.
Ah, damn it. All right. Your minimum damage will kill him, but let's go ahead and have it.
11 points of slashing damage, one more time.
And with that, you feel your sword get stuck into something. You hear this hissing, and it kind of gets loud in your head as it's around you. And then it just suddenly goes quiet, and your sword becomes free from sticking into it. And you hear a loud thud on the ground, and this darkness slowly shrinks until it soaks up into this creature that is red-skinned, because it has like torn cloth on. It's wearing minimal armor. Its mouth seems to be like a scar that's sewn shut, and it has no eye pupils. It has no eyelids. It has these sharp ears that go out straight from its almost like its jaw, and it has these curved long horns that are probably about 2.5 feet long, and these torn leathery wings with claws within them.
It is dead.
Oh, and also Kiriki's on the floor.
And
Oh yeah, we're
Kyrgyz
still in
seems to be-
initiative. My bad.
He's just
Who's next?
stating things.
Yeah, Malachi. You see Kiriki. You see the darkness disappear into this creature.
Dora, Kiriki has fallen. Quickly. He motions to Aldora. He knows that she's capable of healing things.
I laughed a little bit because I could see like Aldora in my head, 10 feet away from Kiriki, and then Malachi's like right in front of her, and he points down. And he's like, "Quick, Kiriki's falling." She just kind of looks down and looks back up, and she's like, "Yeah, I see." Just kind of funny. Sorry. Anywho's her. Aldora, Malachi, do you want to try anything?
Malachi's waiting for Aldora to heal because
That's fair.
that's his plan at this point.
I just thought I'd ask. Aldora, what do you want to do?
Eldora will use Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Mm-hmm.
17.
17. Kiriki, you are back up. 17 hit points.
Woo!
You got a dead red guy next to you.
Man,
Oh.
fuck that guy.
Malachi
Kiriki's
would
still
like to inspect the body of this creature.
Okay. Perception or investigation. Investigation has a lower DC, and you will get more, but perception is more widely used, and it's quicker.
I've also actually got a modifier investigation, so that works.
Nice.
Ooh, a natural 20 for a 24.
Damn. Okay. So you find a few things, and then as you're rolling him over, you see something kind of bulging out. Is that a hemorrhoid? No. It's a magic item. So you kind of reach up there. Glove first. You don't want to be unsanitary. I'm kidding. All right. So you find a couple of things on him. He has a satchel on him. You find a note on him that looks crudely written, and it has different things on there that I'm going to let y'all read. You find a very crudely drawn map of what almost looks like Greece, but the geography is familiar but different at the same time. Like they either draw different or they're just wrong. And you can read it, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then you also find he has a hand, a broken off statue of a hand. Like it's a full-fingered human hand, and it's gripping a golden ball or golden orb. And it looks like instead of taking the orb out of the hand, he just broke the hand off of the statue.
Interesting. He will kind of take the statue of a hand and kind of like look and I guess inspect it. Could I do an Arcana check to try and figure out if this thing is magical?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll an Arcana check.
All right. Not so good. Only a 12.
A 12? You're not sure if it's magical, but you do get a warm feeling off of it. Like it probably is. You're just not familiar with it.
He'll kind of put it off to the side and then look at the note.
All right. The note's a little strange. Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, yeah. Do you want me to write it, like just read it out loud?
Sure.
Okay. Quick question before I start reading it. Is the note written in common, like in like something everyone could read, or is it specifically abyssal?
It's specifically abyssal. You just can read it, and you can tell it's like handwritten.
Okay. So then he'll pull out the note and he'll like look it over and he'll look at the rest of the party and there's a note here. It's written in a abyssal script. I'll read it out loud so you all can hear. The first sentence seems crossed out, but the words are still legible. It says, burly forge worker, hammer, tongs, uses fire, strong, dislikes water, moves slow. I'm not sure why this is crossed out. Maybe he's already killed that person or something. The legible script says, woman, strong and small, hard helmet, face on shield, thinks a lot. Been fighting 26 days, still going. Uses spear, requires no food or water. There's another scrawled out part to the side of that says, man, young boy, uses music. Taken is not scratched out. Underneath that, man, random, flies, gives fear, has many invisible weapons, happy, mood swings, quick, has skin. He kind of like shudders at that. Man, rock, no sure, swims in the ground. And then here at the bottom it says, man, lightning, flies, no help others, killed Togthith in one hit, no known weakness. That's it. Any ideas?
Face on shield.
Yes.
Is it the face on the shield? Doesn't Aldora have a face on her shield? Or
No, Dora has owls and
owls. Okay,
like owls, olive branches, and spears.
got it.
Could I do a history check to see if this rings any bells for known figures in our world?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I also roll one?
Yeah, religion or history. Anybody.
Well, since you said religion, you know I'm gonna do that one.
I'm gonna do history.
Fuck. I rolled a 7.
I rolled an 11, but I feel like this is important, so I might use my inspiration, and hopefully it doesn't mess up.
You're the instrument.
Because who cares about saving life with that?
I'm going to do the same, actually, because that sounds like a good idea.
I rolled a 10. Let's go.
It's a 15 for me on the second go.
Religion?
Yeah.
Dora, do you want a taste of this?
I rolled a 15 religion.
All right. I will give you advantage for one line.
Okay.
Kidding,
I
I'm gonna
got
give
a
it to you
10
automatically.
history.
Damn, y'all.
So my first roll is a 15. My second roll was an 11 overall.
Wow. You guys are on those high numbers today. Okay, so Dora.
Yeah.
He says, woman, strong and small, heart on a helmet, face on shield, and then you kind of stop and think. Mm-hmm. She thinks a lot. Mm-hmm. Do you know of any women that have a face on their shield and that think a lot?
Athena.
That uses a spear. Yes. So, somebody who's been fighting 26 days and does not require food or water, and uses a spear, has a face on her shield, and she is known to have a helmet on. You think he's probably referring to Athena in that line. The boy that uses music, it's probably Apollo. Both Malachi and Aldora will know pretty much the rest of it together. I'm just kind of was going to give that one to you anyways, Aldora, because you know her really well.
Yeah.
Burly forge worker, I mean, he's not referred to a lot, and he's not a focus of either of you, so I'm going to let that one just kind of go back under the rug. Man, random flies, that one evades you. The rock man, not sure about that one. Man, lightning, flies, no help others. Becca, who do you think that is?
I think we all would know instantly.
I think I know who that is, yeah.
Yeah. So you think he's probably referring to Zeus there. God, King of the Gods.
I think Andrak doesn't recognize the one because the face on the shield is not familiar.
That's fair.
Malachi, like, looking over the note again, like, kind of looks at it, he thinks about it, he's like, wait a minute. These sentences are describing the gods. I mean, we all know of the gods, man, lightning, flies, that's obviously Zeus. I'm not sure about the man who's made of rock, but young man, young boy, uses music, that sounds like Apollo. Gods.
Apollo.
Have these demons been fighting the gods? And he kind of, like, looks at the scrawled out lines, he's like, have they succeeded?
The one on Apollo says taken, correct?
Yes.
Maybe they had not won. Maybe captured, or maybe Apollo let himself be captured for information gathering. The first one you read does not sound familiar to me.
Me neither.
And the second one, the woman with the face shield, I do not recognize.
That would be Athena.
He stares for a second.
When did she get a shield with a face?
You know nothing about her.
Blankly stares.
You know nothing. Malachi
We'll go with that one.
Malachi kind of was already down, like on his knees, kind of combing over this body. He kind of slumps a little bit back, just kind of looks a bit demoralized. If these demons are fighting gods and not immediately being destroyed, what hope do we even have of doing anything here? We're not gods.
What hope indeed. They have traveled so far and found death, destroyed temples, and now the champions have their suspicions about the havoc that the demons are wreaking on the world. We will have to hope with them, hope for a victory against the darkness. And we will find out where that goes next week.